Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Mary. It's very short and sweet. Mary says, how does one dismiss urges to thoughts that resist an action rather than compelling an action? So she says, I struggle with practicing my classical art and daily thinking how I want to step up to the easel, yet way too often I find myself filling the day with other pursuits. I often have no idea what the thoughts are that take me in that direction. The thoughts I've noticed often begin with, you can do art later after you've done fill in the blank. When I manage to practice art, I feel great and enjoy every minute, even when it's difficult or baffling. So, Mary, I love this question. So here's the thing. I think this is like everything pretty much, like all questions. We know the answer. I don't know the answer for you exactly, but what you can do, what I can guide you to do, is just do a little exploration with yourself around this. And one thing I think is so huge to see is, what if this is actually really simple, like far simpler than it seems? So Mary says, she wants to do the art. She kind of plans for it. And then she says, I don't know what the thoughts are that take me in that direction. But then she says some thoughts that are likely the ones taking her in that direction. So you say, the thoughts I've noticed often begin with, you can do art later after you've done blah, blah, blah. So you notice your mind come up. You see this. This is amazing. Like, you have this awareness. You notice your mind come up and say, you can do art later, but first you're going to do the dishes. You can do art later, but first you're going to clean the bathroom. So you feel this, you see it, you notice this coming up. And here's the thing. What if this is just a habit? What if it's just like a reflex? Now, it could be your mind coming up to somehow distract you from your art for some reason that your mind thinks is helpful. No, who knows, right? So let's imagine that Mary has this big, deep fear of failing at her art. And so her mind comes in to try to protect her from that. Who knows? But we don't need to even know all that. What we can see is that, and what Mary can see is that at this level, like if we're just taking things at face value, she wants to do her art. She notices her mind come in and say, clean the bathroom first. And she just sees, oh, this is just what my mind says. Almost every time I consider doing my art, my mind comes in and gives me another suggestion. No big deal. I don't have to listen to that. And then you do your art. So I know this might sound like way too simple to be true or to be helpful. But what I think happens all the time is our mind says stuff and we think it's powerful just because our mind said it. And it comes with some feeling, for sure. So your mind says, that's fine, do art, but you're going to clean the bathroom first. And then there's this little bit of whatever we want to call this, energy, a little momentum kind of leading you toward the bathroom. Okay, that's an experience. That's just human experience. It's not forcing anything. It's just what arises. It's just what arises habitually. So if you can see, yes, your mind will come in. It has so far. There's no reason to think it's just going to stop. It will come in and suggest another action, and there may even be some energy behind that. There might feel like some pull or some momentum behind that. And all of that is just simply your mind-body's habit, and none of it is actually making you go clean the bathroom first. None of it has any power really to keep you from your art. It's just something that shows up. It's kind of that simple. Let it be that simple and see what you see in this, Mary. So what happens, again, is our mind says this stuff and it's been saying it for years and we feel that energy behind it. And then more thinking comes in and says, oh, I can't do my art. Look, my mind just told me to clean the bathroom. And look, I kind of want to clean the bathroom. And now the art's not on my mind. And now I'm doing these other things. And so it looks like that thought and that momentum is powerful. It looks like it can do something to you. It's keeping you from your art. It's not actually. Our belief about it, our belief in it, our feeling that it's this big, powerful thing, that kind of sometimes keeps us from our art. The thought doesn't do anything. It's just a reflex. It's like having hiccups and saying, oh, I can't, go on that date I was just about to go on. I have hiccups. Like, sure, people go on dates with hiccups all the time. The hiccups cannot stop you from going on your date. And a thought that says, let's do something else instead, cannot stop you from your art. We just come to think it can. And when we think it can, then it does, then we feel like we have a big problem. So I want you to play with that, Mary, and really like see what if it is truly that simple. In the beginning of your question, you say, how does one dismiss urges to thoughts that resist an action rather than compelling an action, which is a very overly complicated, fancy way of what we're saying here. Like, you don't have to dismiss it. You dismiss it by seeing that it's just a reflex. It's just a mind, it's just a habit. Just a mind coming up and a little energy that says, don't do that now, do it later. Well, there's nothing to resist in that. There's nothing to dismiss in that. You just see it and you just do your art anyway. And if you let it be that simple and just, okay, you're here, I'm just going to go do what I'd planned to do, you're going to see if there's more to see. Now, again, if there's some bigger, deeper thing here, some fear of what, who knows, but let's not assume the worst. I don't think life is usually not all that complicated. It's pretty simple, and then we kind of take it and make it very serious. So start there and see if that's all it is. There's a great chance it is. And if more comes up, then that's wonderful. You'll see that too. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know how that goes, Mary. I'm really curious to hear how this experiment goes for you. Thanks for sending your question. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and I'll see you back here next Monday.